South African police searching for illegal immigrants in Hillbrow, a crime-ridden suburb of Johannesburg. Hundreds of thousands of people come from all over Africa, lured by the hope of jobs, wealth, and in many cases, simply to escape the wars that ravage the continent. Many undertake desperate, dangerous journeys in their quest to enter South Africa. Thousands are arrested and repatriated each month, yet many simply turn around and begin the process again. A lot end up here in the streets of Hillbrow, trying to eke out a living, many living rough and trying to keep a step ahead of the police. Some escape, many don't. The police often speak several languages and can pick up subtle accents. People come from all over sub-Saharan Africa, Zimbabwe, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Burundi, Nigeria, Mozambique, and even as far as Sudan. Some win legal refugee status, but many don't bother or don't qualify.
Where are you from, my brother?
From Sudan.
From Sudan?
Yeah.
The cops can spot a forged document in seconds. There's a thriving business in forged travel and residence papers. Once inside the country, the immigrants slip into crowded squatter settlements or high-rise slums.
But why can't you tell? Why can't you tell? Huh?
There must be 4 numbers under the city.
Here it is.
Many South Africans dislike the migrants, accusing them of taking jobs that are already scarce.
This is a forged document. Do you want me to prove that? This is a forged document. Forged document.
It's a forged paper.
Yes, it is. There must be 4 numbers here. There's a first number that offers like hours. It's 4 numbers, hours, 7 numbers.
Where's yours got? What did you say?
Let's go.
Residents accuse the illegal immigrants of selling drugs and robbing locals. And some migrants do turn to crime when the jobs and wealth they had hoped for can't be found. Many of these, arrested by the South African police, have already been deported at least once before. It's a costly and time-consuming job for an already undermanned police force. The numbers are so high, a disused garage must be used as the de facto charging centre. There are no official figures, but volunteer agencies estimate that South Africa's illegal immigrants and asylum seekers number between 4 and 8 million. It's a frustrating business for the police. They know that many of those arrested tonight won't be discouraged from returning. Along the 250-kilometre border with Zimbabwe, desperation drives illegal immigrants to take huge risks. Scaling the razor wire, these men risk being shot. The border fence was electrified, but too many people were dying, so the South African government switched off their electricity on humanitarian grounds. Breaching the border is a common route for many immigrants. Once across, they sprint off to escape arrest and begin the search for their new lives. The immigrants will undertake desperate journeys, risking arrest, being cheated by crooks, or even being attacked by wild animals to reach South Africa. Some are not so lucky and get caught by the border patrol even before their journey to a new life has begun. Justin left Burundi in 1994 when genocide tore apart his country. Today, many of his fellow countrymen live in Hillbrow, some legally, some not. The Burundi-run barbershop is a popular meeting place.
You never know. Yeah, because really...
I went from Burundi, I went to DRC, the eastern part of DRC. Then after that, I take Lake Tanganyika till down to Mpulungu, that is Zambia. Or from there, I go down to Lusaka. Lusaka, I cross the border, Mozambique, to the place called Tete. Then from Tete, I went down to Beira, Maputo. From Maputo, I crossed straight Swaziland The same day, I didn't even take a time. The same day I crossed Swaziland, South Africa.
There is some help for people who have reached South Africa who have a legitimate claim to legal refugee status. The Jesuit Refugee Centre helps people through the endless paperwork required for the much sought-after asylum documents. José Kamar has faced a slow process, seeking refugee status for herself and 4 children.
In my experience, people here aren't interested in the plight of refugees. That's what I've found. Even toward children like this one. He has a fever and I don't have any medication. What am I to do?
But getting away from wars at home is no guarantee of safety.
I must say the attitude has been hostile. There's been lots of xenophobia. Many have been thrown out of trains, moving trains. Many have been killed. And some have had acids poured on their faces. So it has been that kind of deception, basically.
This densely populated settlement outside Johannesburg was home for some Zimbabwean immigrants. But their shanties were torched during a fight with locals who resent the newcomers.
No, because they are giving us problems, you see. They're shooting our people, they're killing our people, they're doing all that, you see, such things. That's why they say they are not needed here, you see.
Sometimes the violence between locals and illegal immigrants rages for days, and it's up to the police to separate the warring parties.
You get inside. That's what we tell you. Get inside the houses and there won't be trouble. Okay. Now get inside. Okay. All right, that's what we say. Take your kids and go
Despite the risks, South Africa's relative wealth remains a huge attraction.
It is very costly for us as a country, but we have an obligation. We have a rule of law to uphold in this country. Therefore, we will not allow people to come in and mingle and, move up and down South Africa without us knowing who that person is. So it's important, irrespective of the cost, to do our duty to send them back.
The journey into South Africa often means crossing many fences. The journey home often starts behind another one, the fence at the Lindela repatriation camp outside Johannesburg. Although guarded and fenced, the camp is clean and well run by a private company. There are no gun towers or guns visible. But there's little point in rebellion. Cameras record every move. The great majority are from Zimbabwe and Mozambique. About 6,000 people are sent back to those 2 countries alone from South Africa each month. At the camp, there's more of the never-ending paperwork. For many, the hope of jobs and money to send back to impoverished families across sub-Saharan Africa has come to a temporary halt. Everybody knows they're going home. The processing takes hours. All names have been recorded, repatriation documents issued. But for the ambitious, this is just another part of the cycle.
Yes, I have to come back because, we used to say, this is the only country which can help us. I don't steal for nobody else. I used to do something with my hands. If you say, do this, I will do because I need some money. And if I get that money, I know that I will buy a shirt for me. I'll cut my hair, I'll make my beard, I'll buy a shoe for me. I'll make something for my family.
Illegal immigrants called up for the trip back to Mozambique. The hardships and arrests are part of life in Africa, and most people accept the drudgery of waiting with a resigned patience. For many, it's just a temporary setback.
Next Saturday, I'll be here. On 1 week.
Many of these men will use the trip home to Mozambique as an opportunity to see friends and families. The tide of migrants has stretched South Africa's resources. The repatriation camp doesn't have a railway station, so the men and police guarding them must dodge passing trains. Police know many of the illegals would happily take the chance to escape and return to making a living in South Africa. They fill the train fast, so none of the 1,400 men gets the chance to slip away. The trip home is about to begin, but it won't be long before South Africa beckons again.